So see, you can take up for us.
I understand that the gentleman is coming
I understand.
with the.
Okay.
With the.
Do I have a motion to come out of executive session?
Storage
So
buildings
moved.
coming back.
Motion by Mr.
Got
Morrison,
everybody satisfied out there?
second by Mr. Johnson. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Let the records reflect no action taken in executive session. Mr. Slade.
Simply like your assent to proceed with a legal action against Mr. Rogers on the basis of his non-compliant activities at Clover Valley and at Mount Hill. So, anybody have an objection to me proceeding?
Did you permit him?
Do we need to
Clover
vote on
Valley
that?
and which one?
Maybe, it'd be fine, but I was just trying to get assent to keep y'all from actually
Proceed.
taking any specific action.
Okay.
Unless y'all tell me, no, don't do it, I intend just to proceed.
I think we need to proceed.
Okay.
What do you think, Walt?
Ma'am? No, ma'am.
Okay.
You're meant to be.
I've got a couple of very small matters to run by you right quick.
Okay.
We may need to take action on. They would be added items, but we didn't want them to be on the agenda as such, or they came in so late that we couldn't put them on the agenda. One is, there is a group that has been meeting for a number of years. This goes all the way back into Norman McLeod's time as county administrator. At the time that the county got involved in what are called 319 projects, this is a federal U.S. code section that's referred to as 319 that allows for a cooperative process between the county, municipalities, and the federal government, primarily Corps of Engineers, for riprap projects. You all remember the Mill Creek project?
Right.
All right, so they're referred to euphemistically as 319 projects.
Okay.
A team was formed called the Resonate Team, R-E-Z-O-N-A-T-E, because that project was brought to Rankin County as a way of getting on top of siltation that was affecting the reservoir.
Right.
That's how far back it goes. All right, so they've been meeting routinely. And we've had representation through our consultant, Buster, and Alan Scott have been going to these monthly meetings of this bunch for years. They charge us hourly for that. Alan went to Buster and said, this is the biggest waste of time. We need to tell the county it's not doing anything for us, we're just wasting time. They need to authorize us not to participate in any of this before. Again, I talked to Buster about it, and that's his recommendation. That you guys simply say, we don't want you going to any more of these Resonate Team meetings and spending money.
And what are they actually doing?
Most of what has devolved is environmental kind of stuff. There's Mr. Buster, and he can fill in the gaps for us. I'm telling them about the Resonate Team right now.
Yes.
All right. To use Alan's phraseology, and we speak the same language, it's turned into a bunch of tree huggers. What is happening is that we believe, Alan believes, I think I can speak for him, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
He thinks that that Rankin County is being sort of held into this group for the purpose of getting funding for projects. that
How much funding are we putting into that? I mean, which line item are we?
Well, the only thing we're doing right now is we're paying us Alan's time to go to these meetings.
Oh, so we're paying you guys
Yeah.
through you to go
Right.
to.
That's correct. This started back when Norman was administrator. We had the 319 project.
Right.
So that's what we wanted to do. Well, Norman took an enormous amount of time to provide in-kind services to meet part of Rankin County's obligation. And we did several little projects in Mill Creek, right out around northwest Rankin, you know, we graded a little bit, put a little bit out and so forth, which is fine. But, excuse me, then when this other situation started evolving, Hooker told us to continue to attend the meetings, mainly, get a feel for what exactly is coming down the pipe. And, Alan and I were talking about it last week, and he asked me, reckon the county really wanted us to spend 2 or 3 hours on half the county attending these meetings, just to have an update, and you may. But
Where's our update been?
there's really nothing to update. Like the last meeting was, mainly pertaining to Madison County stuff, on that side of the reservoir. So this thing is all encompassing a whole bunch of people involved. He said there was probably $5,000 worth of payout sitting around the table in these meetings, various people. And we certainly don't mind going, but I'm turning around building.
Well, I guess I'm trying to figure out exactly what benefit are we getting out of this, and what is it, how did all this get started? I mean, is it towards Mill Creek and Terra Project and all that stuff? Does all that tie into it also?
Into the reservoir. The whole, I think the ultimate goal is to clean the reservoir up.
Okay.
Try to keep trash out of it and try to keep silt out of it. There's a meeting tomorrow. The reason I wanted this brought up when Alan was asking me, should he go? One of the things on the agenda tomorrow is signs. They want to put signs down at all tributaries and all this kind of stuff. The 2 heated items is what color the sign's gonna be, and are they gonna have a fish or a bird on them?
Where are they gonna get the funds for the signs?
That, I don't, this group supposedly has got some funding going on, and I assume it's 319 money. I don't know that for a fact, because I hadn't been actively involved in it. Of course, Alan's been there, but I don't know that we've been totally informed of exactly what's going on. But this program is to try to clean up the reservoir. And that's a good program. Reservoir needs cleaned up, nobody questions that. But I don't know exactly what part Rankin County is gonna play in it. Alan has a feeling that they're interested in Rankin County still participating in the meetings, because at some point, there's gonna be some projects come out, and that they're gonna want Rankin County to be the funding agency. In addition, when I say the funding, the matching fund agency. And that, like I said, that's what Norman did when he was administrator. He did a lot of in-kind work that had to be done on the project to serve as part of Rankin County's obligations to match the funds. Because the 319 funds are covered.
What is PRV's input?
The RV is very active in it, and in these meetings. Yes, sir. They're very active in it.
So are they not, and I guess playing this side of it, are they not gonna say, if we pull out of this, are we not the ones that are coming down through our tributaries and everything else, helping to add to the siltation towards reservoir?
That is a possibility.
And that's why I'm worried about the backlash. Right, I'm worried about the backlash on the part of what.
That is a possibility.
But are we talking about whether he attends the meeting or doesn't attend the meeting?
Well, see, but if we say we're pulling out, what does that look like as far as Rankin County? Are we just, I mean,
Can't you just get a transcript of the meetings as they go?
You can. You can get a transcript of
And then you can work with the multipurpose building on the off time.
the meeting. They send out news. I've got one right here.
well, that Rodney said exactly right. I mean, that'd free you up to the multipurpose building over there, so you.
Well, I'll have to say, whether we stop this or not, and I was hoping you wouldn't even be in the room when I said this, but I don't know any other engineering firm that would have come to us and said, I think you need to stop that and quit paying, so we
Quit giving me money.
quit giving paying us. I think they'd have just ridden that right on along.
I do a lot of stupid things.
I was about
Anyway,
to-
I just wanted to say that. And
Well, if we discontinue our participation in the meetings itself, and the PRV had an issue that we could help them with in-kind services, I don't see why we couldn't still perform that, even though we had not been
You could,
attending those meetings, if they
Right.
just papered it up
yeah.
through the lawyers for us to have an interlocal agreement to do Project A. I mean,
I agree, that's what I thought.
I think it's important to remember as well that just because Alan's not necessarily going to the meetings and participating, that doesn't mean that Rankin County is
Pulling out.
Pulling out, won't participate.
Right.
What
Right.
this means.
If-
You're simply saving the money that's associated with going
Right.
and listening to a bunch of hoo-ha.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, you're probably looking at paying us $300-400 a month for this. With Allen's time, it takes them 3 hours to get ready. So you're looking at $300 or $400 a month.
That
How many
ought to be-
years was
We get
that?
the money now, we love the money.
So how many years was that? About 10 years?
Been going on a long time, Jay.
Sound kinda like that.
Pretty easy math.
Sound kinda like that Bienville project or whatever I remember
Yeah, yeah.
years back, years ago.
Yeah, but it's a.
he's dead now, though.
I'm just here to tell you.
But the Thames is gone. He was the one spearheading that.
And it, it's a cooperative effort.
Yeah.
And
Lived in my district.
I think it's also important to remember that that group is not able to bind this board to anything. In other words, they can't make a decision over there.
Right.
No.
And then come to you guys and say, now, pay up what you owe. No. You will have to approve participation.
So no matter what, whatever all the meetings he goes to, he can't really put us out there. I mean, he really can't.
He will not.
That's what I'm saying. So there's no,
No, yeah, he's not gonna commit us either way.
Authorize.
No, so
he
that's-
just authorizes
that's
Buster
what
to do it.
happens, occasionally in a conversation, something was said about Rankin County.
Right.
Of course, Evans' automatic response is, I cannot speak for Rankin County, I can relay the data.
Right.
And that's the way it will continue if we continue to go to them. But we don't mind them, but I.
Why
So
can't we just track their progress by paper?
why don't,
If something comes up, we address it.
Well,
So who is-
Either
who
that
is-
or when something comes up, I'm sure.
who is their
Contact.
director?
Well, you might
us.
want a forewarning that it's coming.
Yeah, who is their director of that, Buster? Who oversees that group?
Let me look at my brain here. This last information was sent out.
Isn't it the lady with DEQ?
These,
Some kind of
they're involved, yes.
Yeah.
This was, sent out on Friday, December the 12th. You want me to tell you who was kinda at the meeting? Give you a feel for what's going on? Y'all got it down.
How many you got there? How many people are there?
Well, Chris Sanders, DEQ, Doug Upton, DEQ, Cynthia James, Chris Bryson, Richmond, something other. Alan Scott, Greg Burgess, Luke Man, I don't know who that is, Joel Matthew, NRCS is actually involved in it. Scott Coverson, the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Here's somebody from Madison, Mississippi again, Jackson, Mississippi, Corey Ladner, City of Flowood, J.S. Caleb Dana, who used to be Ecosystem, and did some work for the county years ago. He's doing another firm. Paul Lanning, Mike Freeman, Janine May, y'all know Janine. MSW, I don't know who that is, Jacob, Sanders, another DEQ person, Lynn Porter, Secret at DEQ, Laura Bison, DEQ, Don Sullivan.
Are we going with it? Are we supposed to meet the mayor?
Okay.
And, she had sent out in the minutes of November the 20th.
So, again,
I can read some of this.
no, that's okay. Who is the president of that?
The one that's kind of running the show that sends this out is
okay.
Melissa Gordon Freeman, PhD.
Good deal.
She's the vice president, senior principal scientist in Jackson.
Oh,
That's about all that I have. I think she's with Burns Allen. I think that may be who used to be, who was Thompson. I think they may have changed their name to that, I'm not sure. Thompson Engineering, I'm not really sure.
How often do they meet?
Monthly.
That's odd, they meet so frequent.
At the last meeting, they had a discussion
I think they would at least be a
on
quarterly.
workplace of BMP sign.
Mm-hmm.
You do every month.
That's a best managed practice. North Bay, regional provided locations for signage. Highlands was discussed, and a task force suggested signage should be messaging regarding settlement issues rather than BMP signage. The type of signage they talk about putting out there. Fine. Anyway, that kind of, a stormwater sign will be developed for each of the following BMP: rain garden, wetland, wet detention pond, dry detention, retention pond, stream bank stabilization, vegetable. That's the kind of stuff it is. It was decided that signage at Turtle Creek focus on sediment and dredging specific. And how to do the sign. That's the type of stuff that this thing addresses.
Very informative.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He's bored to death, the reason he wants to quit that.
Well, you're right.
They ain't paying me enough to do this one.
You know, they mentioned detention ponds or something else that I couldn't have to word. But, it's no big deal. But I've got to, go out and get a latitude and longitude on every detention pond that's gone in within the last year. And then start doing that every year. When the detention pond goes in with a subdivision or a development or something, I've got to get a latitude and longitude.
Well, I guess to make this go along quicker then, can you contact them and say, look, we still want to be a part of this, but if you could CC us on this, if there's anything we can do as far legally from Rankin County that we can add to, I guess then get with Craig and Laura and then bring it to the board. I mean, I think that that's probably the best avenue. What do y'all think?
Stay in the loop.
I think the best avenue is for him just to quit showing up.
Me too.
But we still need somehow where they can get the information to us.
Well, I
so we're
think
not
if they
just,
wanted us, they'd get us.
Oh, yeah, if they do something, they're
I
gonna
would
come on to it.
suspect, at least for a good period of time, if Alan doesn't attend, he'll still get this big.
Right.
The minutes.
Okay.
They may have some knowledge, come to me, but I suspect for a while.
So we don't need to take any board action in that then.
Now, I'd like for you guys to authorize engineering service to refrain from going to the resident team.
Until later
Until
notice.
further notice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
I
put
make
that
that a
for
motion.
We
second.
need to add it.
Need to add it to the agenda.
I'd like to add this,
Motion
to
by
the-
Mr. Bishop, second by Mr. Morrison, to add this item to the agenda.
Yep.
Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
Okay,
Now I need a motion to,
go ahead, Jay.
I make a motion to, have engineering service to cease going to 319 meetings,
Resident.
whatever. All right, yeah, that.
okay, motion by Mr.
Second.
Bishop, second by Mr. Morrison. Questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
That is a resident task force.
Okay. All right.
Anything else?
Yes.
How do you
We
spell
asked Rusty to
resignate?
come, and talk, briefly to you guys about live stream of the meetings. And, we wanna get you guys, up to speed on that. What we're doing right now, obviously, we're recording the meetings, and then they are uploaded, via the web. But we haven't gone to live streaming the meetings, and we have the capability to do that.
Is that something you think we ought to do?
Yes.
Why?
Couple reasons. One, it'll actually utilize the technology you have in here, so that anybody from anywhere can just sit on our homepage and view y'all as you go. The other part is we're recording this and we can't change it legally. Okay, so there's a wildlife you know, refine the process down to where it's putting the time on there and putting Rankin County Board of Supervisors on there. There's still an upload point. If we live stream, it's there. After the meeting's over, it's already hosted and ready to go. We won't have an issue where if I'm unavailable for a few weeks, we get way behind, which we've done before.
Okay. All right.
By doing that, we're still capturing though, right? I mean,
Correct.
what about is
It's
that gonna put any more
recording and
stress
putting it
on
up.
Janice to get the video and recording audio?
Now, I'll
part?
make it a one-button thing, just like it is now.
Well, can we do anything by improving the cameras?
What do you need improvement on?
Just you don't get a very detailed image. Last time I looked,
Right now, we're recording in 1080p. That's the highest definition we can get in. Do you think we need to zoom in on some areas?
I know I've looked at other places that do it, and
Right.
the image is a lot better.
Okay, I'll take a look at it. You know, we've improved over the last, let's say 10 meetings or so, no, maybe 6-7 meetings to where we've gotten in high definition.
Oh, really?
So
Well, I haven't
maybe the
looked
old
lately.
ones that you've looked at, check out the last couple, and I'll continue to tweak on this, see if I can make it any.
Are we getting much following? Much
What?
hits? Are we getting very many people hitting
Yes
our
and no.
page?
Some yes, some have been viewed at all. So it depends.
Depends on what the topic is.
Mhm.
Okay.
Whether people actually, and it only gets a view if they watch a certain amount of the meeting. So if they skip through and watch hour 2, minute 1 through hour 2, minute 15, it doesn't count. They have to actually watch a certain portion of it.
Percentage of it.
Mhm.
Right.
That's correct.
Okay.
Okay, do I have to have a motion to add this item, or do we need to take any action on this, or what's your?
We still have to do some testing, so I would say as of right now, just bringing you aware of it.
Okay.
That we'd like to try it, and then we can discuss it in a later meeting.
Okay.
Where we at on getting our credit card and all stuff going and getting our set up for being able to rent our stuff online?
We're still moving along. I don't really have an ETA for you yet. I need to check in with them. And we've sent them all our stuff, so I assume we're waiting on them. So I'll touch base with them this afternoon to let you know.
Is it gonna be up to us to go in and set up each separate page for a calendar and everything
That's
for
correct.
each location?
That's correct. I'll handle that. I'll take care of it. It won't take very long.
Okay.
All right. What else you got, Craig?
There's, the last thing I've got is to, what you heard today about the GIS data
Yes.
is pretty exciting to see how that's coming, and it's gonna be a really great thing. They are, according to what Lance told me this morning, they are making a few final tweaks. They're not quite ready to let it go yet. So they've got it in-house. He tells me that about 99% of the parcel information has been checked and checks out. Okay, so the parcel data is really ready to go. And so I asked Lance to talk to John, and he did. And they don't have an issue with us, if the board is okay with this, going ahead and moving this GIS data to CMPDD, so they can start
Yes.
looking at it and manipulating it, but not going live with it.
Yeah.
That'll be clear
Okay.
that CMPDD cannot put it out until they've cleared it with Lance. But if we need y'all to say you're okay with having Lance send this data to CMPDD so they can start.
I thought we voted on this a year ago.
Well, I don't know if we ever discussed when they were going to hand off the stuff to CMPDD, because Lance and John are not ready to tell you we're ready to go live.
Okay. But I mean, I thought we voted to have Central Plan Development be our host
Yes, and all
of
we're talking
everything.
about here, Jay, is when can they get it to CMPDD? They didn't want to get ahead of y'all and get it out there, and all of a sudden it shows up everywhere, and we haven't given you a complete handoff on when it's ready.
Yeah, I got you.
So
Well,
if y'all
the
are okay,
sooner we get it
will-
them, the better timing we can have in terms of making the viewer work
Correct.
better and offer
Correct.
more views.
I have something to add to this. Part of that, the GIS mapping that's going on, we have met with Flowwood and Pearl. Thanks to Greg putting me in touch with Flowwood. We are going to, and I talked to the sheriff briefly about this, we're going to start sharing that addressing data to the cities, okay, as part of their 911 addressing, so if they no longer have to have an employee constantly update their addresses. We'll use our 100% accurate addresses that Lance is putting together, and on a regular basis update their databases. So.
Wait a minute, I thought we did that anyway.
No.
911 does all the, she doesn't do inside municipality new
She
addresses?
does, but we don't share it with the cities currently.
Really?
Yeah, not with their 911 stuff. So right now, when somebody calls in 911, you get Flowwood, the Flowwood dispatcher has to type that address in if the address has never been put in before. If she types it in wrong, you know, as a
So
typo.
we're gonna share it with their PTS software then,
Correct.
basically?
Correct,
Right.
correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So this is our police department, not,
Right. And the idea is that we're going to start sharing it within internally as well.
you know what, I
First.
think we need to charge PTS some money for this.
They're gonna charge us some money for it.
Exactly, they are. They're gonna charge us for the county and they'll charge each municipality too. So we might as well get some kind of something for it.
They're not going to. We already broached that with them in a meeting, and they said no, that we're one of the only counties that are gonna be able to utilize this. So if we want it, we're gonna have to pay for it.
If we wanna be able to have accurate addresses. we're
Share
gonna
our
have to pay for it.
addresses to other PTS customers.
But as is now, we have issues with PTS because they don't have the most up-to-date addresses in their database.
Correct, but that's because of us. We enter those addresses. We do that. Our dispatchers do that currently. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sheriff, but I believe the dispatchers, whenever a new address comes in, just like Pearl and just like Flowwood, somebody manually enters that in. It does not currently link with E911 in any way, shape, or form.
But we have our mapping software that's there too, and we just talked about this earlier.
Right.
In order for us to be able to merge our information with what they have.
We are going to push from GIS to PTS, not the other way around.
Right.
PTS
And that's
is
what I'm saying,
address.
that's why we should get some type of discount for it since,
But what they're trying to say is the current process they use right now is what everybody else is using. If we want to integrate it with something else, we'll have to pay for it. It's not much, $6,000 split between the three of us, the county, Pearl, and Flowwood. That's $2,000 a piece. That's
Yeah,
not going
that's-
to be
to be able to use accurate information,
correct. That's correct.
we're going to pay for that privilege.
For an automatic updating of address is correct. It's either that or have an employee keep it update. And right now, that's what we're doing.
Be a cost savings,
Yeah.
huge.
At the end of the day, it'll be,
It'll be
big cost
accurate.
savings for
So-
everybody.
Right,
3,000 of Pearl and 3,000 of Flowwood.
2,000.
2,000 each.
You can take that up with Pearl and Flowwood if you want to.
Hey, look, you're the supervisor of both, so you talk to them. It'll be fine.
No, he said thanks to Greg, not thanks to Jay.
Hey, I brought it to them, so I'm here to tell you, I was
If it'd
thinking,
been thanks to Jay, we wouldn't been paying anything.
I just got the ball moving.
We don't need any action. Y'all just, if anybody has heartburn over sharing GIS data with CMPDD, speak up, please.
Why would we,
I think
I
that'd
want
be,
to.
No, so there's no reason.
as long as they realize it doesn't go
Lance
live
wants
till
to
we,
be sure
Right.
you guys are okay before he does it,
Mhm.
because it's not ready to go live.
who handles it over there? Do you know?
Uh,
CMPDD?
Their mapping guy's name is Tony Wonk,
Yeah, I know Tony, yeah,
and, but he'll be working with Chuck and Dave Wade.
okay.
And those guys.
And the only thing that's gonna be going live, y'all, is whatever we agree to.
Right.
On the viewer, what we want to
Exactly.
display.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like Jay. I mean, the quicker we can get it over there, the faster we can start moving. Okay?
Okay.
Anything else? All right. Do I have a motion to recess till December 31st at 9 o'clock? Motion by
Maybe we have a New
Mr.
Year's Eve party that day, huh?
Morrison, second by Mr. Morrison. Made a motion, second by Mr. Keith. Any questions? All in favor say aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
I would want to request that Mr. Parker be here for that meeting.
Janice.
I may have